Hi everyone, it's Lucy from Sweet Poppy Stencils. I hope you're enjoying our inspiration day. Don't forget you can tune in on the Simply Sweet Poppy page and catch up, go to the feature page and catch up on this whenever you want. So today's little make, what I'm going to do is nice, quick, simple little card. And what we're doing is we're using one of the stamps multiple times. So let's start off. So what do we need? So we're going to use just part of the leaf arrangement. We're then going to be using from the fern stamp, we're going to use the birthday words, and we're going to use one of the beautiful little bumblebees. So those are the stamps that we're going to use. So let's pop those to one side. I've already cut myself out a little mask. That's going to help me to mask off the areas I don't want to use. I'm using Nocturne VersaFine Clair, and then I'm going to be using one of the pens, the Moss, and I'm also going to be using the blender pen, the Kuretake blender pen that are available on the website. What else have I got? I've got my trusty stamp press and the cardstock that I'm going to use. So sizes that we are using, let's pull these all to one side. So we've got a 5x7 base card. Then we have, let me get my little list, in the cream topper we have let's have a look. This is 11.5 by 16 centimeters. We've then got a mat in the olive, which is going to be 12 by 16.5. Then for my words, we have in the cream, we've got a 4 by 8, and then in the olive, we've got 4.5 by 8.5. So those are my mat and layers. So I'm doing my little card. I'm going to open it sort of, is it horizontal? So it's a different opening for me this time. Let's have a look. So I've created a little mask already. So this will then mask off the areas that I don't need. So let's get my stamp press in, move everything out of one side, and let's get cracking. Okay, so we've going to pop down. It's just working out where you want to position your first stamp and looking at it, and I'm thinking that would be really nice round about there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just lining it up, just looking at where I'm lining up, popping my magnets down, and we're going to go in, and I'm picking up my stamp. Let's check that we're in shot. Okay, lovely. So let me just move that to one side. I've got my little piece of acetate so that I can overlay and make sure that I hopefully don't get any black marks. So as I said, what I've done is I have stamped a little mask. This is going to mask off areas that I don't want to ink up, because all I want is the top little sections of the leaves, the fronds of the leaves. So we're going in and I'm gently inking up. Just going to check that I'm in shot. So my little mask that I've created here, it's a little bit smaller than what I actually need, just so that I'm going to be over stamping it. I'm not going to worry if I get anything sort of in here. Make sure you take that off. You don't need that one on whilst you're doing this. And let's just make sure that we're nicely lined up. I'm going to go about there. Right, pop my magnets down. Just make sure I'm nicely lined up without the stamp being in the way. Fabulous. and walk it. So we're going to do this all the way around. Now, yes, you can, if you want, heat emboss it, but you have to do it as you're going along. Okay, so we're lifting up, quite happy with that. So I'm just going to have a little check, and what I'm going to hopefully do is I'm going to move that to about there, and hopefully, if it works for me, hopefully I'm just going to use my mask and I'm going to move it slightly down. Oops, let's get you straight. Okay. Yeah, I think that would be quite nice. It doesn't have to be perfect all the way around. What it does have to be is slightly straighter. Fab. So again, mask on, pop it on, and mask off the areas that you don't want. Try not to get your black fingers everywhere. And we're going to go, oops. What I'm going to do is just wipe that off. Lovely, brilliant. So gentle taps, take it off, remember, take it off. Before now I've not taken it off, and then I wonder why I've got big black marks everywhere. Fabulous. I'm just going to go back in there and just make sure that I got that part. I'm terrible for my magnets, forgetting to put my magnets in the right place. So I'm going to clean this one because I need to reline it up now. So clean that off. Lovely. Make sure it's nice and dry. So I'm just looking for a little piece of paper. Okay. Okay, so this is where this comes in handy. Oops, hopefully I didn't shake that. And I'm just going to pop that on there. Make sure these are, try not to get black fingers everywhere as well. Lovely. Pick that up, press that down. And then we're going back in. Let me check here. So back in with my little mask. Keep my hands clean. And then again, inking up, gently catching all the areas that I really want to catch. Take off my mask. So I want this just a real simple, easy card. That's all I want. I don't want nothing difficult. Okay, got a tiny little mark there. I'm not going to stress about that because that's the joy of having ink erasers. Right, so move up again. We're going to just line up and pop that on. Okie dokie. I'm just moving just a little bit each time. There we go, perfect. Right, hold it down. Lovely. Okay, pop him down a bit. Good old trusty mask. that's where he goes. Make sure we're a shot. And then gentle taps. You know, this would look pretty monochrome, so if you didn't want to colour it, if you're not the great colourist or you haven't got time to colour, then black and white or even just doing it in green ink would look fab. Lovely. And just gentle taps, making sure that the stamp is not on my magnets. Brilliant. Taking the stamp off. I'm sure some people got easier ways of doing it, but this is the easy way for me, so works for me. So pop that up there, pop that up there. There we go. Lovely. Just a little smidge of green up there. Pick them up. Fab. Oops. Whoops. So we're just going to go just the tops. Take them off. There we go. Once we've got the ink out, let's stamp our little word. So pop that to one side to be cleaned. And then let's get our little word. Fabulous. So the little birthday word. May as well do all our stamping in one go once we've got the inks and stuff out. Make sure he's nicely straight. There we go. Lovely. So that can go to one side to be matte and layered in a bit. Pop that away. Let's wipe that down. Lovely. So he can go back on so I don't lose him. Braille. Okay, and ink on. Right, so we're going to take off our little mask. You can store that and keep that for later. Now I said I've got a couple of little marks which are fingerprints. And one little one there. Just be careful when you're using the ink erasers because you're taking the top layer of the cardstock, so you don't want to tear your card. There we go. A little bit there. Lovely. Try not to shake the card. Okay, so we're just going to go in nice and simple with a little bit of colour. So I'm just popping my watercolour pen there on the mat because I want it quite soft. I don't want it dark and harsh. I'm going to pick up a little bit on my blender pen, and all we're going to do is we will colour the leaves in. So we'll do these and then we can fast forward in and out so you don't have to watch the full part of this. So I'm just adding just a smidge of colour just to the leaves. There's no skill. You are just bit by bit. And then hopefully this will make it pop. So we're on the last of the leaves, sprigs, and just filling those in. Last few. I can see that wasn't the best stamping. Could have done with going in again, but once it's coloured now, you'll see. So just touching up. And if we're happy that you've got all your little leaves, wonderful. So there we go, lovely. So cleaning off my little blender. Don't want to put it away dirty. Lovely. So clean that up. Okay, so we're good to go there. So we've got our little sentiment that's going to go in the middle that we've already popped on. So I need my piece of card, just in case. I'm going to just mat and layer that. Oops. It's always harder to do it on camera. Right, that looks pretty. There we go. Lovely. And then a little bit of, just to raise it up, a little bit of 3D foam. So I'm using 1mm. So my scissors. There we go. So 1, 2. There we go. Pop that to one side. And then we're going to mat this onto our base. So as I said, it's a real, as you can see, previous. It's a real simple, easy card. So mat that on. Make sure I don't get any fingerprints all over the place. Come on. There we go. Very achievable this is. So again, I'm just going to go flat onto the cardstock this time. I'm just using a glue roller rather than wet glue, just for quickness. And line him up. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to take an edge off that if I've got. I'm just going to take a little edge off that because I just feel it was overhanging where I folded it, scored and folded it. So it's a 5x7 base card. Now, pop that on. Do we want a little bumblebee on there? Yeah, let's stick a little bumblebee on. Should I have done it before I matted and layered? Possible, but it's not hurting at all. So I'm going to have to do it this way. So hopefully I don't knock the camera. So do apologise if I shake you. So make sure my bumblebee is up the right way. There he is. Pop you there. So it doesn't, because obviously I've got a few layers on now. And just in case, you never know if you've got going twice. Lovely. Am I making this difficult for myself? Possible. Right, press them down, let it sink into the cardstock. This is where I botch it. There we go, fab. Ooh, bumblebee. Pop that away, take him off. Make sure clean hands while I touch it. In with my little topper. So let's see if I've got any glossy accents. So if you've got some little dewdrops or glossy accents, completely up to you if you want to. So there we go. And there you go. Nice, simple little make. Check you in shot. And there we go. So let's clear all this away, because I've got seem to have, for such a little card, absolute tons of stuff about. There we go. And there you go. There's your quick little June inspiration make. There we go. Nice and simple, just using a few little things. Your black nocturne, a little bit of crafting card, and a blender pen, and also your olive green or moss green watercolour pen. Hope you enjoyed the make. Don't forget to stop in for more inspiration with Simply Sweet Poppy stencils.